Over the weekend, Secretary of Defense Robert Gates made it known that he would like to see Congress repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell during the lame duck session next week. Gates, of course, the highest military official. The House has already passed repeal legislation, but the Senate has not yet acted on it. President Obama has since received a lot of backlash from his base for not acting quickly enough to allow gays to serve openly in the military. Republicans, on the other hand, have displayed no interest at all in repealing the policy. So a lame duck session will be the last chance the House has to work on this issue. What are the chances that repeal gets passed? And if not, what else can President Obama do to deliver on his campaign promise? Joining me to discuss these issues and whether or not Don't Ask, Don't Tell should be repealed is Bryan Fischer with the American Family Association. Bryan, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Tom. Good to be with you.
Bryan, what is it that that Israel knows that we don't know? They have no problem with gays in their military. In fact, they solicit them.
Well, Israel's in a different military situation than we are. They don't have extended overseas deployments and all that kind of thing. What Israel does with their military, that's up to them. What we do with our military, that's up to us.
Well, what is it that the United Kingdom then knows that we don't know? Because they actively recruit gays for their military.
Well, again, what the UK does with their military, that's up to them. What we do with our military, that's up to us.
Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Norway, Philippines. The Philippines, a super Catholic country, they allow gays to serve in their military. I don't get what it is that's so unique about the United States that, you know, Russia, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, all of these countries say, you know, what Barry Goldwater said, I don't care if you are straight, just as long as you can shoot straight.
Well, and that's fine for them to do it. I think there's two issues, Tom, that we got to deal with. Number one, if you allow open homosexuals to serve in the military, you are sending a powerful signal to our culture that homosexual behavior is okay, and it's not. It's risky, it's dangerous to human health, very destructive. You know, the FDA...
Wait a minute, are you trying to tell me that having gay sex is more dangerous than having straight sex?
It absolutely is. The Food
There are way more people in the United States every year.
The Food and Drug Administration, Tom, will not allow a male to donate blood if he has had sex one single time since 1977 with another male.
There are way...
That's so harmful to human health.
Well, that's because of the history of the AIDS epidemic, but there are way more people every year in the United States who get sexually transmitted diseases and who are injured by them, who are rendered sterile by them in particular, that's the main injury, that are straight than are gay. I mean, you know, come on. People, number one. And number two, you know, what you're suggesting is that this is, I'm guessing, is that this is implicitly some kind of a choice. How old were you when you knew that you liked girls?
Well, I'll tell you, Tom, sexual behavior is always a choice. Sexual behavior is a decision. It is a behavior.
I'm not talking about behavior.
I'm talking about it is not an orientation.
Sexual identity. How old were you when you knew that you liked girls?
Tom, you're mixing apples and oranges here. Sexual behavior is a choice. You might ask a pedophile, when did you know you were a pedophile? Do you think it's okay for people to be pedophiles if they're convinced that they were born that way? I say no, because having sex
this is not about deviation, major deviations from the norm. There are gay animals in every mammalian species. This is, you know, sexual identity is something that is, what you're suggesting is Bryan, is just good old-fashioned discrimination. I mean, we used to say this about black people. We used to say, well, you know, we know that they can't live with white people, and they shouldn't get married. I mean, that was illegal up until the 60s in some states.
Tom, the only distinguishing characteristic of the homosexual population is that they want to use the anal cavity for sex. That's the one thing.
Oh, Bryan, you want me to start yelling about vaginas and penises? I mean, you know, shock language is not going to get us.
Disease control. You look at the
78% of Americans, Bryan,
Tom, they've gone back since the beginning of the AIDS epidemic, 1977,
Bryan,
and they've determined that of all the males that have HIV/AIDS, 91% of them got it either through having sex with other males or through intravenous drug abuse. It's just as dangerous and risky to human health as IV drug abuse.
And right now, what is the fastest growing population of AIDS with AIDS in the United States?
It's
Bryan.
a gay disease. The gay
Bryan,
activist.
what is the fastest growing cohort for AIDS in the United States right now?
It's still men who have sex with men.
It is not.
It's still
women of color.
It's still the majority of people with AIDS are men who have sex with men.
Bryan, I think
of the American population.
You're promoting bigotry. I'm just astounded. But
Tom, I'm promoting human health according to the Food and Drug Administration and according to the Centers for Disease Control. I am promoting health.
Okay, Bryan Fischer. Bryan, thanks for coming by and talking with us.
All right, you bet. Anytime, Tom.